Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to iBUG Buzz number 665. Today is Monday, December 23rd, 2024, and Christmas is only 2 days away. My name is Pete Lane. I'll be facilitating tonight's conference with the help of Julie and Bradford at the helm. I'd like to also welcome all of you who are joining us live tonight via our Zoom conference platform, or for those who may be listening via recorded podcast. The iBUG Buzz is a weekly forum for folks who have questions or issues relating to their iDevice. These would include your iPhone, your iPad, your Apple TV, and your Apple Watch, and your HomePod. We don't have any upcoming announcements. Actually, iBUG will be closed following tonight's activities. Tonight's activities will be followed by the iBUG After Buzz, which will begin promptly at 9 p.m. Central Time, just as we're closing out our buzz tonight. And once the buzz and the after buzz conclude tonight, we are closed through December 30th, which is a week from today. We will resume on Tuesday night, December 31st, for our movie. We will not have our Friday night movie this coming week because we will instead have a New Year's Eve movie on Tuesday, December 31st, beginning at 7 p.m. Central Time. So change in time. Normally it's 7:15 on Fridays, but this coming movie will begin early because we've got a bunch of activities, including watching the movie. We'll also be watching the Times Square dropping of the ball on the East Coast, and we should be finished up with all of those pre-movie and movie activities, which, as usual, will include the post-movie discussion and the post-movie trivia, and then we'll be catching the Times Square ball at midnight East Coast time, which, of course, would be 11 p.m. Central Time. With that all said, consider all of our available resources as you always do. We have a website. This is the source of our main information. That website is ibugtoday.org. That's ibugtoday.org. We also are on Twitter at iBUG Today. We have a Facebook group at iBUG Today, and we also have a YouTube channel where all of our recorded podcasts are available, as well as on our website and the iBUG Buzz, our weekly forum, which we're doing tonight. Those recordings are available on all Apple Podcasts and your favorite podcatcher. So take advantage of those resources. We also have the Jumpstart Mentoring Program, where you, as a new iOS user, are connected with an experienced iOS user, and you'll work one-on-one with that experienced iOS user until you're up and running on your iPhone or iPad. It's a great program, and if you're not comfortable using an iOS device, that's probably a really good place to start. Now, with that all said, I'd like to go ahead and invite everyone who's with us tonight to take yourselves off mute. First of all, by the way, we do not use a raised hand feature when we get to asking questions. But right now, I'd like to ask everybody to take yourselves off mute. Tell us who you are, where you're calling from, and whether or not you're new to iBUG. I'll get us started. My name is Pete Lane, and I'm in Jacksonville, Florida.
This is Herbie in Marysville, Washington.
Hello, Herbie.
In Ottawa.
Hello, Angelo.
This is Desi Noller in Franklin, Tennessee.
Hello, Desi Noller in Franklin.
Hey, Pete.
Hello, Jules. How are you?
Hershey, Daytona Beach.
Hershey, welcome.
Liz Fort Worth
from Chicago.
Hey, Liz Fort Worth. And Cindy from Chicago, welcome.
Ned from Texas.
Hi, Ned.
Hi.
Ed from Georgetown, Ontario.
Howdy, Ed.
Hi.
This is Dee from 95 Illinois,
Hello, from southern Illinois, way up there in the north.
Southern Illinois.
Paul in Columbus, Ohio.
Hello, Paul.
Hi, guys.
Helene from Arizona.
Georgia.
I heard Helene from Arizona and Vanessa from Atlanta. Hey, guys.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Guy. Hi, Pete.
Hi, Guy.
Greg in Texas.
Hey, Greg, welcome.
This is Inthasar from Iowa.
Hi, Annie.
Rosetta Stone from Conyers, Georgia.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rosetta Stone.
Yay! Thank you, Pete.
This is John in Austin.
Hey, John, welcome.
Dan, Southern California.
Hi, Dan.
Brad Dallas.
Hello, Bradford.
Jody in New Hampshire.
Jody, welcome.
Hi, Pete.
Thomas in Colorado.
Welcome, Thomas.
Kelsey in Ohio.
Hi, Kelsey.
Hello.
Elizabeth in Newfoundland, Canada.
Hello, Elizabeth. Welcome.
Thank you.
Amanda in California.
Hi, Amanda.
Hi.
Anybody else want to say hi? Okay. Well, thank you all for introducing yourself. Let's go ahead and get started with the main event. Who would like to ask our first question of the evening? Somebody's been preparing with their first question.
This is John.
Yes, John.
I have a question, and I don't know whether this is a function of 18.1 and 18.2. I do know that it functioned what I would call correctly before I installed them, and is not functioning what I would call correctly afterwards. What happens now when I ask Siri to play a podcast, I get a screen saying, when I ask, it asks me what I want to play it on, and I say Apple Podcast, and it comes back with a screen saying it doesn't appear to be installed. But when I go to my home page, it is installed, and when I click on it, I can use it. I, for some reason, just can't get Siri and the Apple Podcast coordinated. So my question is, has anybody else experienced this? Should I reinstall Apple Podcast and see if that makes a difference? Does anybody have any other ideas?
Anybody can help John. Sounds a little odd. I would say it can't hurt, John, to reinstall it, but it seems to be working properly every other way, but you just can't get Siri to do her job.
Yeah.
I think you need to dock her pay. What do you think?
I agree.
Anybody have similar situation?
This is Helene.
Yes, Helene.
Yes, I do, and it's on a lot of apps. It won't find them, but if I find them by going one by one and find them and tap on it, it opens. So it just seems to be a function of Siri needing some urgent care.
Urgent care, right. I think you need to uninstall and reinstall Siri.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be nice if we could, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So, Helene, you just go straight to the podcast app and go directly to the source and not worry about Siri.
No, it's not that. It's that I have to just go to, if I did something, if I click on Weight Watcher app, and I'll say to open it, and I don't, use it very often, but I'll go on it, and if I ask it to open it, it'll say you don't have it, and it will take whatever words I'm using, and it just twists them, and then it just doesn't open it. But if I find the WW app, and I touch it, it will open, and it's right there. It is a function. It is something that Siri is having a problem.
Wow. Have either of you contacted Apple support by any chance? John, Helene?
I have not yet, no.
Mm-hmm. Probably not a bad idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry about that, guys.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, good luck. All right. John broke the ice. Who would like to follow up with question number 2?
This is Karen.
Yeah, Karen, what do you got?
I don't know if anyone else is having this problem, but in messages, when I swipe up, text messages, when I swipe up to more, because I want to, select some other ones to get ready to delete them, it doesn't say selected anymore. And it's been going on for about 2 weeks. And I don't know, and I just, go through my messages and delete them, or delete a lot of them. And I don't know if it's selected or not. I mean, I guess it's not a major problem. If I know I swiped up to more, but I would like to confirm that, before I hit delete.
Mm-hmm. Can anybody help Karen? Anybody experiencing that bug or that difficulty?
This is Herbie.
Yeah, Herbie.
So where are you deleting your messages? And is this in messages or email?
Messages. I mean, it used to work just fine.
So when you swipe down to delete them, they don't delete?
When I swipe up to more. When I swipe to more and one finger double tap to select them to get ready for deletion, it doesn't say selected anymore. It used to say selected.
Okay, because I just delete them one by one as I'm going along, by swiping up. Because in the main messages thing, you can just go, if you want to delete a message thread. So are you deleting messages with any thread or the message thread itself?
No, just messages within the thread. The point is, when you swipe
one
to
at
more,
a time.
You never notice it says,
right.
One at a time. It says selected. What used to. Now it doesn't say that anymore.
All right, well, then I will. Okay, and then they don't disappear, I'm assuming, when you hit delete?
They will delete, yes, but that's not the problem. The problem
right, they just will tell you that it's selected, so you don't know if it actually worked or not. Okay.
Well, Herbie, come to think of it, I don't know that I actually swipe up to more. I think it's a couple of swipes up or down, and I just hit a delete button before I hit more.
Right. Well, that's what I'm asking, because I normally don't delete messages within a thread. I'm usually deleting the entire thread, so I'm going to have to go actually play with...
Yeah, I do them one at a time, and I flick down twice, I believe it is, and I get to delete and just double tap, so I never get to a more button. Karen,
right, well, but she's within the thread itself. That's what she said, not the actual message, if that makes sense.
Not the individual message, you're doing a whole thread?
Message. No, I'm doing individual messages.
Okay.
Yeah, you're doing individual messages, not the entire thread.
When you swipe up or down, whatever, and there's a few options, and then eventually you hear more. Then I do a one-finger double tap, and it's selected, and then I swipe through to see if there's any other messages in that conversation I want to delete, because somebody may have left me a phone number, and I'm like, then I'm like, well, I don't want to delete that yet. I want to go ahead and...
This is Liz.
Yeah, Liz.
Did this happen after you uploaded the software like to 18.1 or 18.2?
I can't remember, but it happened over like the last week, and it is updated, so it may be 18.2. I don't know, but it's the latest one that was available like a week ago.
Yeah, I'd call Apple support and tell them it's not.
I'll be honest with you. I never use the more button. The only thing I use the more button for is if I'm forwarding a message, and then I go to the bottom.
All the time.
So how do you select the message for deletion?
I flick down twice. Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you were asking me.
Sorry, this is Liz.
Go, Liz, and then Brad.
I use the more, but I haven't updated to 18 yet on this phone.
So you go to more, and then you'll find delete.
Yes.
In the more.
Right. And you can click on multiple ones that you want to go to delete. You can select up,
You're selecting them then. Okay.
Right. You can listen and then double tap on the one you want to delete and keep scrolling up to older ones and just double tap on the ones you want to delete, and then it'll mark it. And it says that you've done that. But I think it's the newer software updates, because I haven't done that yet. So mine still works.
All right. Thanks, Liz. What do you got, Brad?
Yeah, I'm running 18.2. Mine performs as it always has. I was going to suggest, was it Karen, that try either cycling VoiceOver off, back on. I don't mean triple tap the screen 2 times. That just turns speech off. That doesn't turn VoiceOver off. Turn VoiceOver off completely and then turn VoiceOver back on. I find that when VoiceOver isn't behaving as it should, just cycling on and off should do it. If that doesn't do it, try turning your phone off and back on again. That may do it. But mine is working just like it always has. I, flick up to more, and then when I double tap on something, it says selected. And as I go through them, they say, and I only have to go to more once, and then I can go through and I go to the next message. I just flick up once and double tap, and it's selected.
Right.
And
you're in
I do not find
This is Herbie.
in the flick up or down action. So Pete's phone works differently than everybody else's, apparently.
This is Herbie.
I'm unique in every way. Go, Herbie.
So yeah, I just tried this. I went into a message thread and I found the message and I double tapped more. It didn't tell me verbally that it was selected, but by swiping left and right, I could see that the message was selected because it then had the word selected in front of it. So you should be seeing the word selected.
See it or hear it?
Hear it. Well, because we're using...
Yeah, well, I don't hear it, yeah.
Yeah, so...
But
and I'm running the latest iOS, so yeah.
Okay, I'll turn the VoiceOver on. Do it in the settings, or do it through?
No, just go to the side button, the power button, and 3-click on the side button.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
You got it.
This is John.
Good luck. Yes, John. Hello, John. How are you?
Hi, I'm well, and you guys. I just wanted to add one more thing to your bag of tricks. So anytime something's kind of glitchy or doesn't work so well, I also, as a reminder, to force quit the apps, because I have an issue in which, Safari can kind of be glitchy too. And I tried all the other things that you guys are talking about, but I also found that when I force quit the app too, it kind of reset it. So then if there are any bugs, then it clears it so I can start fresh.
All righty. Thank you, John. All right. Who has another question on a fresh topic?
This is Helene.
Go, Helene.
When I do Be My Eyes, and I ask for help, when I want to, this is only since I've updated. I hate to be complaining about the updates, but when I do the Be My Eyes and I'm finished, usually it says the other party has hung up and disconnected, yes or no, and I say yes, and then it says end call, and then you say I had a good call. And now it won't do that. It won't end. I have to get off the call, hit my app switcher, and then close it, then go back to Be My Eyes, and then I can say end call, and, I had a good call. But it won't do what it used to do, which was, you could press end call and then say I had a good call. Does anyone else have that problem?
Everybody's having a tough time, aren't we? Who can help Helene? Any Be My Eyes users, other than with the Ray-Ban Meta Smart classes, which we will push off until
this is Sri.
7:45. Yes, Sri?
I just made a Be My Eyes call this evening, and I did a 2-finger double tap and disconnected the call.
Uh-huh. How's that for coincidence, Helene?
Yes.
And you're doing the 2-finger double tap, Helene, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's when you get to end call. It says end call, and then
you double tap it.
Double tap it. Mm-hmm.
This is Sri.
Yes, Sri.
I did a 2-finger double tap after I finished talking to the representative. I just did a 2-finger double tap.
Okay.
Oh, well. Good luck. Let us know next week, not next week, but the week after if we continue to have trouble.
Let's let you know next year.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Who's got a fresh question?
This is Greg.
This is Greg?
Yeah. So I use Apple Pay online and in the stores that take Apple Pay. I'm going to be traveling with some friends where they may be paying for a few things and I want to reimburse them. And I know I can do that through just a text message. But if they don't have if they don't have a credit card attached, they don't want to use a credit card and they don't use Apple Cash or Apple, Pay. Mm-hmm. But I could still transfer money to them and it would show up in their Apple Cash. So that's part of it is that correct? And then the second part is, I suppose they could gift one of their kids, just do the same thing, send a message, giving the money to one of their kids as a gift. But how would they, if they don't want to hook up a bank account to it, what other options are there where they can access that money?
Okay. Greg's got a couple of Apple Pay questions. Who can help? Apple Pay. Any users, power users?
Brad?
Yes, sir.
So the question is, you may have somebody who doesn't have any bank accounts connected to their wallet app, actually, is what it is. Apple Pay is another account in your wallet app, if I'm not mistaken. And when you either can pay people out of it or transfer or receive money into it. But unless you've got a bank account or something also in your wallet app, I don't believe there's another way to get it out.
Yeah, so we'll just go into Starbucks.
Say it again?
Place it safely.
You're not being heard very well, Herbie. You want to repeat what you said?
Am I muted or unmuted?
No, you weren't muted, but you have like a bad cell.
Yeah, you don't sound real good.
Do I sound good now?
Not like usual, but we can.
No, yeah, your microphone's.
I'm on new AirPods. Let me actually tell you what. I'll put the other one in. So you're trying. I kind of missed half the question, but I think Brad answered it pretty well. Yeah, you need your bank account in your wallet for it to.
And my understanding is, if I want to transfer it to one of my bank accounts, I believe there's a fee. I always use money in my Apple. Well, I have an Apple card, and it pays me a percentage every time I use it for something, and it goes into my Apple Pay account.
Yeah, so
and I always use that to pay my Apple card, and there's no fee. But I think I can use it to pay someone through. I think you do that through messaging. I've only done it once or twice. It's been a long time.
This is Greg.
Yeah, that's how Greg framed the question. Go, Greg.
Right. Yeah, I can pay them. I can send them money. The question is, if they don't have a credit card linked to the Apple Cash or any of the Apple accounts, then what do they do? What can they do with that money?
Okay, Herbie. Okay.
So honestly, what I did is I just spent it on Apple stuff because it was right there. It's right there in the wallet anyway. So tell him to is there anything any TV shows your friend wants to buy or anything like that? You can get your money's worth that way. But I think it's like a 50-cent fee to transfer to your bank or card or something like that. There is some type of fee involved, but he'll have to link. It's not obvious like it is with, say, PayPal. I'll say that much, honestly.
Okay, Brad.
You cannot transfer it to a credit card. You can only use it to pay your Apple card. But if somebody's got a Visa from another bank or Master from another bank, you cannot transfer that to a card, only to a bank account. So if you have a checking account or a savings or something like that would have to be set up in the wallet. Quite frankly, Greg, I think it would be much easier to pay them with Zelle or something like that.
PayPal.
That would go straight to their bank account. And most banks, major banks shall we say, Zelleable.
Huh. Who else did I hear?
You can just Zelle to transfer with Zelle. So.
I'm sorry, who is trying to get in between these two guys?
D.
Hey, D.
Yeah.
What you got?
I was going to say, it's my understanding, if they don't have a card or, their bank account associated with their Apple account, you're not going to be able to pay them anything. I mean, there's just no way. You don't have any numbers there that, it would be going to their account or anything if they're not signed up for Apple Pay themselves and have a card.
Brad?
Yeah, Brad.
They also have to have gone into the wallet app and set up Apple Pay to begin with.
Right.
If they haven't set up Apple Pay, then you can't send them money that way. They don't have an account, they don't have it set up. And then, of course, once it's in there, the other issue is what do you do with it once it's in there? So,
yeah. All right, Greg, there you go.
Bell's a better choice.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
You got it. All right, who's got a fresh question?
Well, this is D. I just wanted to say one more thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you're concerned that they're going to pay for things that you want to reimburse them, if you can wait until you get home and get cash, just link your old cash.
Yeah, everybody likes
you're
cash.
Not carrying that with you.
Hey, Pete, this is Hershey.
But,
yes, Hershey. Sorry, thank you, D. Thank you, D. Go, Hershey.
Just a quick comment. With PayPal or Zelle, do note that PayPal does charge a 1% or 1% fee on removing the money. So with Zelle, you could either send by text or email as an option, and as Brad alluded, most banks are connected that way anyway.
Good. Thanks, Hershey. There you go, Greg. You got some more ammunition. Thank you, D. Herbie, Bradford, you got one more thing, one more word, and that's it. Brad, what do you got?
Yeah, you can get money out of PayPal with no fee as long as you're not worried about, you don't want it right away. If you want it right away, there's a fee. But if you're willing to have it take overnight or something like that, there's no fee. I've never had to pay a fee to do that with PayPal. But I would say Zelle, either Zelle or PayPal is probably the best way to do it. But then again, they got to have a PayPal account set up. So, Yeah.
I
don't know.
D, what do you got? One more comment.
I was just going to say, if you can't pay your own portion with your Apple account or something as you go, if they insist on paying. Say thank you.
Who wants to ask a question?
Chico Donaka with a question.
All right, Chico, you know the routine. You chime in with your name, and then I'll acknowledge you. Do you have a fresh question, Chico?
Fresh new question.
Brand new question? All right, go.
Yes, fresh new question.
Go ahead.
This is the new iOS 18, the brand newest of the iOSs. If you go into your settings and there's like brand new settings, not the old settings, but the brand new settings of the phone or the iPad, and you go to sounds and haptics, you will see something brand new. It's called limit. You can limit the how much volume you want your phone to be.
Mm-hmm.
Does it work for all sounds, or does it only work for alert sounds, or it works for like music or?
Okay, let's see if anybody knows. I got the question. Thanks, Chico. Does anybody know if the sound limiter, the volume limiter in the new settings app, works on all sounds within the sounds and haptics screen, or just on limited sounds? Anybody been playing with that?
This is Brad.
I have not, Chico, so I can't help you there. I'm sorry, buddy.
This is Brad.
What do you got, Brad?
I'm looking at it. It looks like you can set just a maximum volume, so that in case you ever have something that comes through, super loud, you're able to control and limit how loud it can actually go. I have not used this.
Can it go up? It can only go up to 90%.
Mine is turned off.
It can only go to 90%.
I've not used it.
100.
Hang on, Chico. What do you got? You finish up, Brad?
It says you set a limit for how loud your iPhone speaker. It does not seem to be.
So it may not even be limited to sounds and haptics and notifications. It may apply
sounds
to
and haptics. It's just other sounds.
Right.
Mine is off.
So it would apply to media as well, you think? Music, etc.?
I think it would apply to anything.
Yeah. Sounds like a logical answer there, Chico. Sounds like it applies to any sound that comes out of the speaker.
Yes, it says right here, set a limit for how loud your iPhone. Well, it goes on and on. It says set a limit for how loud your iPhone's speaker can play sounds, and then it lists movies and media and things like that.
There you go.
Tells me that it's for anything that the iPhone is playing.
I would agree with you there. There you go, Chico. Good question, man. Thank you. All righty. Yeah. Who else has got a fresh question?
Liz.
Kenny.
Liz and then Kenny.
Okay, I have a new phone that I'm going to set up with a new number. I'm keeping my regular phone, but I'm adding a phone. It's like adding a line, but I'm going to use it myself. Can I add that to my current Apple ID, or do I set up a new Apple ID, or any hints or clues or anything?
Brand new phone that you're going to get a different number for.
Right.
And you want to know if you can include it in your existing Apple ID? Yeah, what do you got, Chico?
Hey, Chico Donaka, I think you can only have one Apple ID per phone number, because I tried doing this myself, because I sometimes when I go to Nigeria, I use my Apple ID with another number, a 234 number, and then in America I use that same Apple ID with a 301 number. So I think if you want to do that, you would have to change between. You have to switch between numbers, or switch between. You have to have two different Apple IDs for two different phone numbers. You can't have two. I don't know if you can have two.
This is Amy.
One Apple ID, one Apple ID under two phone numbers. I don't know if that's possible. You might have to use two different Apple IDs on two different phone numbers.
Okay. Thanks, Chico.
This is Innie.
Yes, Innie. What do you got?
Okay, so
I just did this. I had gotten a new phone number and a new phone, but they helped me there set it up, and I have it's the same Apple ID on both phones with the two different numbers, because I just talked to accessibility to Apple Care the other day, because when people were leaving me messages on one phone, it was showing up. So I called them, and he was telling me how, because I have the same Apple ID and I had them sync together for the iCloud. So we had to go to the iCloud and remove the syncing on both phones and stuff like that. You know, which feature, like if I want the text or the voice message, which one I want them to sync together or not to sync. But yes, you can have the same Apple ID number, because I was telling him, I said, well, what about if I do get another Apple ID? And he said, well, you don't have to if you're just concerned about the syncing. And we went to the iCloud and moved things so they don't show on both phones. But I do have this one Apple account, and it's on both of them, both phone numbers on both phones.
All righty. That helped there, Liz, a little bit?
A little bit. I guess calling them directly and saying help might be my best bet.
Probably not a bad idea. Well, thank you, Liz. Thanks, Chico, and thank you, Annie. All right, we're ready for a fresh question. Who's got a brand new question for us?
It's Kelsey.
Yes, Kelsey.
Okay, this is kind of a complicated one, but so I just got a new iPad Mini 7, and we added a new line, because we couldn't transfer my old, the cell service from the iPad, Mini 5 that I had, because that had eSIM. So the question that what we're basically trying to do is, so the iPad Mini 5 is still on our plan. It's still connected with, cellular and whatnot. So we're trying to make it so that my niece can use it when she's, at her, dance competitions or whatnot. So I guess the question is, so if the iPad is on our plan, can her parents set it up under their Apple ID, or does it have to be under my Apple ID?
This is Brad.
Go, Brad.
You're going to want to take what are you giving away? The iPad 5, Mini 5.
Yeah,
correct?
so I'm giving her the Mini 5, but we want to keep the cell connection.
Okay, hang on.
Okay.
First of all, as far as the cellular service, you need to deal with your carrier on that and get it turned off, or else it's still on your account and you're still paying for it.
Okay, yeah, we want to keep it on the account.
As far as the Apple ID, you want to keep the cellular service on the okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you're going to end up still paying for it.
Right, yeah, we know that.
Okay, but as far as the Apple ID, you simply open up settings, go to the top, tap on the name, which I assume is your name.
Yep.
And then go all the way to the bottom, and it will say sign out. And you just simply sign out of the Apple ID. Okay? And then it's going to ask you questions about what do you want to do with your contacts, this and that. And of course, since it's all part of your Apple ID and you're trying to give it to someone else, you tell it to remove all that stuff. And it takes a few minutes while it deletes contacts and other stuff. And then when you give it to whoever it is you're giving it to, they will then open up settings and go to the top, the same place. It'll say sign in. You tap on it, and they will sign in with their Apple ID. Okay? It also might not be a bad idea to go to settings, and after you sign out, go to settings and general, and go to the bottom where it says reset or transfer. And you can either, reset certain things. I think the best thing to do is reset it back to original condition. I believe that keeps the eSIM in there. That's another one you can reset, but you don't want to reset that one since you want to keep it. But just reset everything, and it makes it like a new, back to new condition. They'll open it up and then turn it on, and they'll set it up just like new. But I believe the eSIM will still be there. But I would double check that with the carrier before you do that, or Apple.
Okay. Yeah, because the Mini 5 still has a physical SIM in it.
A physical SIM.
Yes. So the Mini 5
but I'd still check with your carrier just to make sure.
Yep.
I don't think it's going to hurt anything because it's got a physical SIM, but I would still just double check the carrier. Tell them, on the SIM, make sure. Or actually, you might even just call Apple support. This is not a disability thing, so don't waste Apple disability time with that. Just call regular Apple support and say, I've got an iPad, and explain to them what you want to do. But I think you're definitely first thing you're going to do no matter what is sign out of your Apple ID. And if you're not worried about other stuff that's on there, then they can just sign in and go with that. But I'd make sure my contacts and all kinds of stuff are cleared off of there. But again, if you can, I'd reset it back to factory. And
that's what we were going to do.
Physical SIM should still work, but I'd check.
Okay, that's what we thought, but we weren't 100% sure how that will all work. So basically, I know my iPad Mini 7 doesn't have a physical SIM. That's E, but
none of them doing US anymore.
Yep. I found that out the hard way, believe me, when I got it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, good, Kelsey.
Yeah, gosh.
This is John.
Thank you, Bradford. Yes, John.
I actually have some questions related to this. So I do agree with what Brad said, but I'm wondering if maybe she should, because of if there's data configured a particular way on the iPad, I'm wondering if before she does the sign out and all of that, if she should just do a backup so then it's backed up the way that she likes. But also regarding the physical SIM, is there any way that hypothetically, if they needed an eSIM for that, could they get an eSIM equivalent for that physical SIM card? Or
apparently not for the Mini 5, right, Kelsey?
No, that is correct. No, I thought it did, but when I tried to transfer when it gave me the option of transferring the cell plan from the Mini 5 over to the Mini 7, it said your iPad Mini 5 does not support eSIM, so you can't transfer it.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm just surprised that the provider couldn't just look up the information and they just create an eSIM with that existing information.
That is good advice, though, on doing the backup.
Yeah, because I know the way your stuff is configured on each device. I know that everything goes to the cloud, but I know that for each backup for your device, things will be configured a certain way. So I just thought, maybe it'd be good to do a backup just in case.
All righty. Thanks, John. Thank you, Kelsey. Welcome. Brad, appreciate that. All right. We are ready for a fresh question. Who's got a new one? Somebody who doesn't step in here normally. You've been waiting to ask a question. It's that time.
Ho, ho,
and
ho!
Santa is there
Merry
waiting.
Christmas!
Yes, Santa, what do you have to ask me? Santa's asking for a question. Come on, let's not let him down.
This is Thomas in Colorado.
There you go, Thomas. Santa, Thomas is coming at you.
So here's an interesting question. So I've noticed since 18 came out that when I turn my phone off or restart my phone, it opens in the app library. Now, I am able, in most cases, to take my finger and swipe up from the bottom of the screen 3 or 4 times, and it'll go back to my home screen. Does anybody else notice that it opens in the app library?
No. In other words, instead of the home screen, you're in the app library, just like that.
Correct. It says app library, and it shows recently added, and it shows information folder, and it has all these different names of folders. And if I take my finger and swipe up like I'm opening my phone, unlocking my phone, if I do that like 3 times, kind of like clicking your heels 3 times, it goes back to the main home screen to my productivity folder.
That might truly be a question for Santa Claus. What do you think, Santa? I have no idea. Who can help? That's an odd situation.
This is Sri.
Yeah, Sri.
Thomas, have you done a force reboot?
I have done a forced reboot, and it still comes up to the library.
Oh, that's weird.
And when you, this is Sri.
Go, Sri.
Prior to doing a force reboot, what screen mode are you on?
So, you mean, so I did it from like an unlocked screen. So I just did it from my main screen. But it's weird because even if I like do a restart on the phone or I just lock my screen and I unlock my screen, it's back in the app library again.
Wow.
Then I have to do the one finger swipe up from the bottom 3 times to get it
3 times. Hmm.
And
anybody else have any thought? Go, Sri. Go.
I was going to say, you definitely did a force reboot, right? Not a reboot, but a force reboot.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Is that somebody else trying to get in, or is that on your side there, Thomas?
Nope, that wasn't me. That was weird because they said my name.
Yeah.
That was really weird.
This is Brad.
Yes, Brad.
Well, I'm fine on mine. I got 5 screens, and then I have the app library. So if I swipe 3 fingers left to right, right to left, right to left, and I eventually get to the app library. I find that when I swipe, put my finger on the bottom and go up to the first pop, and then raise my finger, it takes me back to screen 5, the screen before
the library.
App library. And then I swipe up from the bottom up to the first pop. If I go to the second pop, I get the app switcher. So I just go to the first pop. And that takes me all the way back to screen number 1, what it call home screen. So I'm not having to do it 3 times. I don't know. That is interesting.
Yeah, looks like Thomas has got some magic going there up in Colorado.
That's okay. Like I say, it works, and it's fortunately I can get back to the home screen. But when it first happened, I thought, I'm not going to be able to read my apps now. I'm going to have to rely on Siri, and I don't like to do that.
No. Yeah. Get that panic feeling. Yeah, well, good luck. You might want to give Apple support a call and see if they've encountered it. But apparently no one else around here has that similar situation, apparently.
Yeah, interesting. I should do that because they can go onto my phone and look at the screen and see what. So
maybe. Yeah.
I may do that. Thank you much.
Okay. You're certainly welcome. Good luck. Thank you, Sri. Thank you, Brad. Yes, Dee, what do you have for us?
Okay, today I deleted an email by mistake. So I went to my trash folder, and it's not there. And I have a junk folder. It's not in my junk folder. Where else might I look for it?
Ooh. Be sure you're looking in the respective folders for the account that you were in, if you have a Gmail account or a Yahoo account.
I only have a Gmail account.
Yeah. So you only have one mail account?
Yes, sir.
It's not in junk and it's not in trash. Any deleted items, any other folders that it might have sneaked its way into? Anybody else have any thoughts?
This is Kenny.
Let's let Kenny go. And Brad?
Sometimes with Gmail, when you delete an item, it might go in your archived folder. It depends on how you have it set up, but people normally set it up to go to trash. So you might want to check the archive folder. And if you remember, if it's on your phone and you remember what the email started with or so forth and so on, you can do a search.
Mm-hmm.
And it might pull it up that way, wherever it could be at.
That's a thought, Dee. If you know the sender, the name of the sender or the company or whatever, you go to your search text screen on your email, on your top of your email screen, and you can set it to either that particular mailbox only or all mailboxes, and then type in the name of the sender or the subject line or anything specific that you remember, and it might locate it for you. Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay, but Kenny mentioned the archive file. Is that that would be in the...
It would be in your list of mailboxes. Right? So if you go up to all mailboxes, it'll be on your on your iPhone. And then if you flick across the top, the main screen is your all mailboxes. You've got, and that it should have all of your sub mailboxes. You'll see drafts, you'll see deleted, you'll see trash, you'll see junk, you'll see any other subject matter email boxes that you may have created. Yeah, right.
Okay.
Then see if you find an archive or anything else that doesn't look familiar, and you might just want to look if it's that important to you.
Yeah, well, I didn't think about that searching for it, but
yeah, that's a good point.
Might be my best bet.
Right on, Kenny. Thank you.
This is Greg.
Okay, Greg, what do you got?
Yeah, if you don't see the archive mailbox, when you're in your listing of mailboxes, if you go up into I think it's the top right corner to edit, then that will pull up a list of all the mailboxes that you can select or deselect. And so you might go through that list and see if you can find archived and make sure it's selected. So it would show up in your list.
I think the ones that are not selected will also show up in your list, but they'll be way down toward the bottom.
Brad?
Yeah, Brad.
I think Gmail may also have an all mail folder that you may want to look into.
Yeah.
If it's not on that list, you may find it when you do the edit.
Yeah. Check under all mail 2D. Just go searching. But try your search command. That might work.
Everywhere.
Save you a little trouble.
Yeah, I'm hoping it does. It'll save a lot of trouble. Okay, thank you, guys.
Yeah, it will. All right. Thanks again, Kenny and Greg and Brad.
Yep. This is Kenny.
Yeah, Kenny, what do you got?
Got a 2-part question.
We only got one answer, so you better make it a good one.
All right. First one is, I want to switch to a new phone, but I want to know the best method of backing up. I would like to get as much as I can off my current phone onto the new phone with the best backup. Normally, I would use iTunes and do an encrypted backup and go forth and do that. But now they have 2 other ways. They have an iCloud backup, and then they have I call it Bluetooth to Bluetooth, but they really don't use Bluetooth. They use the Wi-Fi and kind of Bluetooth to do the handshake and so forth. So I want to know what's the best method of getting everything off your old phone onto your new phone.
Who has had experience with those different methods?
This is Kelsey.
Go, Kelsey.
Okay. So I just did this, actually, with my iPad Mini 5 going to my...
7. Yeah.
Yep.
How did I know that?
Yeah. Well, probably because I did ask a question about my Mini 7.
Oh, that's it.
Or my Mini 5 or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, so I would say I did it with, I think they call it where you hold the devices near each other and, you gotta position the image just right. But the nice thing about it is they do have an authenticate manually, so you don't have to try and line up the 2 cameras because that's a pain. But I would say doing it iPad to iPad or iPhone to iPhone is probably the easiest because it when you do it that way, it actually copies all of your passwords and it automatically signs you into your Apple ID, all your passwords, everything. It just basically the way that you had the old phone, it's going to set up that new phone exactly the way that you had the old phone. So that's probably the easiest way. With iCloud, you actually have to still enter your passwords for all of your apps once you've set up the phone. So I think doing it, whatever they call that, Bluetooth. Yeah, that's
phone
probably
to phone,
your best.
Right.
That's your best bet, I think.
Any naysayers on the direct transfer from phone to phone?
This is John.
Okay, John.
So, of course, you just want to make sure you have a stable and relatively fast internet connection. If you have incredibly slow internet, then it may behoove you to do it through a computer through iTunes. Otherwise, I do agree with what you said.
Okay. Well, there you go, Kenny. Sounds like the best way is the easiest way and the least hassle. Now, has anybody tried it that way and stalled in the middle of the transfer? I've heard that some people have had that difficulty. Looks like it's a surefire way for you there, Kenny. And it walks you right through it, too. It's pretty simple.
All right. That sounds good.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that. What are you getting?
One more question. Those of you who have gotten the iPhone 16 Pro Max, I guess, what do you think about it? Or maybe, I guess we'll even say the Pro, too, since they're equal now. What do you think about it? Do you regret getting it? And do you always hit either the mute button or the camera button? Does it get in your way?
Well, I have the Pro, and I have a lack of feeling in my left hand, which is the hand that I hold the phone in. So I have trouble with that photo button. But I'm unusual that way. Like I said, I'm unique in every way. But everyone I've talked to about that says they have no difficulty with it at all. So,
this is Joe.
Yes, Joe.
Okay, I don't have any trouble with the camera button. I set it to firm in the accessibility section, and I haven't hit that one. But my finger does keep hitting the action button because it's so close to. I'm just so used to going to the top button. They look the same.
To the volume button.
Yeah, so when I'm hitting the volume button, I go past it and hit the action button.
You do have to be careful.
Yeah, but it's just on. It isn't changing anything. It's just letting me. It's just. I've only just given it a quick click, so it doesn't change anything.
Yeah, and you can set the take picture of the photo button to nothing, to no action at all.
Oh, where's that? I didn't see that.
I think that's in the settings. I believe I set it up when I first got it for that reason.
I was looking for that because I'm not ready to use it yet, but
yeah,
I couldn't find it.
I will take a look and let you know.
But I haven't set it off yet, so I think
good.
I pressed it once just to see what it would do, and it didn't do anything because I didn't hold it down or nothing. So,
all right, Joe. Well, good luck, Kenny. Thank you, everybody. And we are now drawing very close to our halftime activities. And before we do that, I'd like to invite anyone who didn't get an opportunity to say hi, tell us where you're calling from, and let us know if you're a new person to iBUG. Any folks who didn't say hi at the beginning of the show.
I'm late. It's Joe from Toronto, Ontario.
Yay, Joe. Welcome.
Arlene.
I'm
calling from the winner's circle.
You are. I was going to mention this when I talked about announcements earlier on, but Arlene was our grand prize winner in Saturday's Apple Workshop when we did the random giveaway of the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses.
Yeah,
was selected from a list of our attendees, and she's a winner. So congrats, Arlene.
I forgot all about it.
It was a wonderful workshop too.
I meant to go in there, and I should have put it in my calendar.
Oh,
you should have.
Some fun.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Who else would like to say hi? Welcome,
Kenny
Arlene.
from Missouri.
Thank you.
Hey, Kenny from Missouri.
Congratulations to Arlene.
Thank you.
Sri from Virginia.
Hey, Sri, welcome.
Vincent from
Hi, Vincent. Welcome, Gloria.
Marty from Philadelphia.
Hey, Marty. Welcome.
Hey, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Anybody else? Herbie, if you're listening, is it an iToys night, or did we do that last week? Do I remember that? Didn't we do an iToys segment?
It's supposed to be an iToys night, but I completely spaced on whether we were having a call tonight, so I don't actually have anything ready.
So we know no iToys.
But I will tell you that I'm talking to you on my new AirPods 4.
Whoa.
And that Brad was correct, and that they sound really good, and a bit better than the AirPods Pro 2. So
wow, that's
we
impressive.
have it on public record that Brad was correct. So.
Well, we all have to wait for the Earth to stop moving for that one.
Yeah,
but,
I do have some toys to talk about starting next year, though, so no worries,
good.
Folks.
Well, we'll hold for next year then. But in the meantime, we do have a special guest from out there in the ether, and he's here with our regular Monday evening halftime activities. Are you out there, iBUG guy, or are you Santa Claus tonight? Rockin' Rudolph.
Santa, make him hurry, tell him he can take the freeway down. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
All right. Yes,
There you go.
All right, I'm back. I don't know what happens to my sound. Something happens between the time I come in and I don't know. Okay. Somebody messes with it. Yes, we've got some
the elves.
Halftime activity, festivities, whatever you want to call it. First, I just wanted to, both Sonny and I want to just give a special shout out to several folks that just are really instrumental in this iBUG Buzz every Monday night. And, this program that we do here, I know it helps a lot of people, and we've gotten lots of great feedback from it. And our main facilitators, obviously, Maria, Brad, Greg, and Pete. And, they not only facilitate, but they do the Bytes segment after the halftime show. And they've continued to just really show their professionalism, courtesy, and respect of all the participants throughout the year, and we just are truly blessed to have them. The backups equally, Desi, Stephen, and Marie hadn't had a chance to do a backup yet, but she's one of our backup facilitators. Want to also thank them. Then we have some guest hosts that come in and fill in for me from time to time. Stephen, Ned, Chris, and Terry Ann have stepped up and did this ridiculous 15 minutes of fame. Then we just mentioned iToys. Yeah, Herbie each fourth Monday has brought in, either he or has brought in a guest to talk about, do a little presentation on some particular hardware. And so we just, and then of course all of you guys out there listen, that participate in this. We definitely wouldn't even be doing this if you weren't part of it. So thank you all. We really appreciate y'all. I got a little trivia, Christmas trivia before we get to the clues. Does anybody know why angels sit atop the Christmas trees? Anybody can answer. Just say your name. Nobody knows. Oh my gosh. Well, I'll try to share my knowledge of that. It goes way back to the early 1800s. And that one year, there were 4 of Santa's elves that got sick. And then the replacement elves that came in, of course, they didn't know the process, and they couldn't keep up with the toy production. And Santa started getting stressed from, with the falling behind and with the pre-Christmas pressure that was going on because of that. And then Mrs. Claus came up to Santa and told him that her mother was coming to visit, and that stressed him even more. So he went out to harness up the reindeer, and he found that 3 of them were about to give birth. And 2 had jumped over the fence, and they were out who knows where. So he was not having a good day.
No.
Then he went over to load his bag of toys on the sleigh, and it broke one of the floorboards.
Oh, no.
The toys fell down out of the bag and all scattered all over the ground. And a frustrated Santa decided to go back in the house, and he was going to make him a hot apple cider with a shot of rum. And when he went over to the cupboard, he found that the apple cider jar was empty. Those dang little elves had drank all the apple cider, and even more frustrating was they took the bottle of rum and hid it someplace. So Santa, being all frustrated and just, really just kind of going out of his mind at this point, accidentally dropped the cider jar. And it fell on the floor, broke into hundreds of pieces. Oh, no. And he was getting even madder now at this point. So he goes over to the broom closet to grab the broom, and he found that the mice had eaten the end of the straw.
Oh, my God.
And about that same time, the doorbell just rang out, and so Santa stomped his feet going over to the door, yanked it open, and he saw this beautiful little angel standing there, smiling at him. And she cheerfully looked up at Santa and said, "Merry Christmas, Santa. Isn't it a beautiful day?" And she was holding this big, beautiful Christmas tree that was just freshly cut. She says, "And I brought you this beautiful Christmas tree. Where would you like me to stick it?" And so began the tradition of the little angel on top of the tree.
Oh, man, we went a long way for that, but it was worth it.
Yeah, it was. That was good.
Good job. Where were you Friday?
All right.
Never going to be able to look at the angel again.
No wonder she's got this grin on her face.
All right, guys. Now it's time for
There he goes.
There he goes. Going over to Europe to deliver presents.
Okay. We've got some clues. And I don't know if he told you, of course, we don't have a movie this coming Friday, but it's going to be New Year's Eve next Tuesday?
A week from tomorrow, right?
Yes, it's Tuesday evening. So we'll be meeting 7 p.m. Central that night, and we've got a great movie planned. So we'll be showing that movie and doing our regular pre-movie social, and actually an hours of pre-movie social time, and then we'll show the movie and have the after movie trivia and whatnot. So, okay, so we got 5 clues, and if we get that far, rules: if you've been a winner in the last 2 months, you're not eligible. No, not 2 months. The last
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah. That's getting mixed up with the other meeting. Then you get 1 guess per clue. You have to say your name, wait to be acknowledged before you may try to answer. We just want the title. So let's get going with clue number 1. Our film this week is set in the French Riviera and based, this is going to give it away maybe, on a novel by David Dodge.
This is Ned.
Oh, Ned, I got a feeling.
To catch a thief?
To catch a thief. Oh, what was the giveaway, Ned? Ding, 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 ding. Yes,
wow.
Yes, Ned.
First clue, first guess.
The French Riviera was the giveaway, I think, for me.
All right, very good. Wait, and you haven't won in the last 3 weeks?
No.
All right. Just checking. Well, very good. Congratulations to Ned.
Good job, Ned.
Thank you.
And, well, I don't even get to do my other clues. Okay, well, that's all right.
It stars David Niven, right?
This one's Cary Grant.
Oh, that's right, Cary Grant. Yeah.
Yes, this is Alfred Hitchcock movie. And so, Cary Grant and
Grace Kelly.
Grace.
Final.
Oh, yes, Grace.
Princess Grace. Wow.
This was the movie where she actually met Prince Rainier, and a year later was married.
Last movie period, I think.
Yeah.
First and last.
Okay, let's see. We got to give Ned something so he doesn't go away empty-handed. And the prize. Oh, so Grace Kelly played Frances Stevens in the movie, and she was this very rich lady, and she drove a 1953 Sunbeam Alpine MK1. And so, Ned, we have gotten a hold of that, and we're going to keep it. We're going to keep it in its original exterior, original sapphire blue, but we have updated the trim on the interior in iBUG colors, of course. So there you go, Ned. Hope you enjoy that.
Thank you.
It's probably older than you are, and
it will go along with the car I won from Sunset Boulevard. Max is
that's
Nora
right.
Desmond's big car, her big chauffeur car. Yeah, I won that. So
let us know when you're driving it on the road, okay?
Right.
So very good, Ned.
Good job, Ned.
That was an awesome guess, right?
Yeah, it was.
Very few people get it on the first clue. That's amazing. All right. Way to go, Ned. Thank you, everybody.
Right.
Everybody have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, season's greetings.
Thank you.
And we'll be back. New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Yep. A week from tomorrow. You're going to send out an email on the movie, though, I would assume?
Yes.
Good.
Will be a notice coming out probably the day after Christmas.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, have a wonderful Christmas, Michael. Stay safe.
All right, everybody, you too.
Merry Christmas,
Michael.
Thank you. Merry
All
Christmas.
right. Merry Christmas,
Michael.
All right. Well, that brings us to the point in time where I have to offer up my iBUG Byte. Hopefully this will make sense to you guys. I thought it was going to be an easy task when somebody suggested that I do it, but the more I dug into it, the more complicated and confusing it seemed. The subject is the new email format of the Apple Mail app with iOS 18.2. It changed for every one of us who has updated. Hopefully this recorded demonstration will make some sense. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and let it rip. I'll be back afterwards. Hi, folks. Pete Lane. I want to talk a little bit about the changes made to the native Apple Mail app when iOS 18.2 was released. And the changes I'm referring to relate to the mail categories. Let's explore some of the details of those changes. I'll try to show you what I found and probably what most of you found when we updated to 18.2. Unfortunately, there are quite a few aspects and settings within the new Mail app categories that I just won't have time to cover in this brief demonstration. But the most common questions that we hear about this new layout are twofold. Number one, how do these categories work? And number two, how do I switch the layout back to the way it was before? Well, I think we can cover those two questions in the few minutes that I have remaining. Okay, first of all, iOS will automatically route an incoming email to what it determines to be the proper category. Let's take a look at the 4 categories.
About categories. Primary. Messages that matter most.
There's our primary category.
Transactions. Receipts, orders, and deliveries, including purchase receipts, shipping, and delivery notices from Apple.
Transactions.
Updates. news, subscriptions, and social, including news headlines, newsletters, and alerts.
That was our updates category.
Promotions, special offers, deals, and more, including coupons and sales from Turner Pest Control, Spirit of Healthy Body, and Bath Wraps Vertical Line Marketing.
Our final category is promotions.
When a message in transactions, updates, or promotions includes time-sensitive information, it will also appear in primary. Reset manual categorization button. This will reset your manual categorization preferences. All messages from one sender will be automatically categorized as primary, transactions, updates, and promotions.
If a message is routed to one of these categories and you believe that it belongs in another category, you have the ability to perform a manual categorization. So essentially, you have the ability to reroute a message to another category, and eventually this will train iOS to route that particular sender's emails into the new category of your choosing. Now that we have our definitions of the categories, let's jump back up to the top of my Gmail screen and take a look at the actual layout in the category view.
Gmail, back button, inbox, heading, messages, selected, primary, button.
Primary was selected, continuing to flick to the right.
Transactions, button, updates, button, promotions, button, unread, Pete Lane, iOS 18 mail, why some love Apple's new categories and others hate them.
So when I flicked past all four of the categories, the list of emails started. Those emails are actually contained in the category that I had checked up above. I had selected the primary category. If I had checked one of the other categories, the first grouping of emails would have been within that category. I'll flick to the right a couple of more times.
Pete Lane, FWD, iBUG Vila Book Club, January 9th.
Let's open the email and check out some of the options. There's one in particular that you should be aware of.
Selected, one message, summarize, one message.
We do have the summary feature, which is pretty cool.
Button. Loading summary, one message. Toolbar. The next Vila Book Club meeting will be held on January 9th, 2025, from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Central Time. The book for discussion is Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. The meeting will be held on Zoom, and the meeting ID and password are provided.
Let's go to our back button, and we'll find out exactly how to change the view of our inbox to look like it did before iOS 18.
Gmail, back button. Inbox, heading, select, button. More, button.
This is our More button that appears on each inbox view in our Mail app. Let's single finger double tap.
Categories. List view.
Two options here. The categories view is the one that we have been in, which reflects the four categories and our new layout. The list view is the old layout. Let's take a look.
Inbox, heading, messages, unread, Turner Pest Control, Happy Holidays from Turner Pest Control, unread, access information news wheelchair symbol emoji.
You may or may not be able to tell, but I went right into my inbox list and I've seen an email, the holiday greetings from Turner Pest Control, that would have been in my primary section under the categories view, but I've also seen a message that would have been under the updates category, that being the access information news email. So here it is, our old friend, the old simplistic inbox from times long ago. As I mentioned earlier, there are several other features in the new Mail layout that I wish I had time to review tonight, but just couldn't fit it into this iBUG Byte. And now we'll open it up for questions. Alrighty, a short 5-minute demo. So who's got questions?
This is Jody.
Okay, Jody.
I'm a little confused. Were you in an email message when you swiped to the More button, or were you in the list? Were you in the...
I was in my Gmail inbox screen.
You were in the inbox. Okay.
Right.
So you're in the inbox and you swipe until you hear More?
Correct. It's up at the top. Okay. It's about 3 swipes to the right.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Pete, this is Marty.
Yay, Marty.
So when you back out of your inbox and you're in your list of mailboxes, is the More, or do you have to go to a mailbox to see the More?
You don't have to back out of the inbox. You'll have to.
Yeah, but if you did, if you did,
you would. I'm missing the point, Marty. If you back out of the inbox, you would have to go back into the inbox and flick back to it. But it would, you would with any button.
That's what I'm saying. The more thing is not, you wouldn't see it when you back out of your inbox.
On your way to the back button, if you're flicking to the left?
Like if you flick back to your list of mailboxes, the More button would not be there. you have to be in a mailbox to see the more button?
Yeah, you have to be in a mailbox, but any of your mailboxes to see the more button. Brad, what did you have?
That's it.
Yeah.
You got to be in one of your mailboxes. Yeah.
Yeah. And actually,
a list of mail items, then you'll
be
in the upper right.
And if you're not in a specific mailbox, you won't see it. So if you go back to like your edit button and where it lists your accounts, like I've got Gmail, Yahoo, iCloud, those, you won't see the more button on that screen.
Okay.
You have to go into one of those particular account and then get into the inbox, and there you'll see the more button in each of one of those.
Thanks. Good explanation. It clarified some stuff.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks. Good question. Who else?
This is Innie.
Yes, Innie.
So I do understand about the categories and the more and all of that, but I want to understand about that summary. Is that like at the bottom? Is it one of the categories?
Once I opened the email, I opened an email which was the iBUG announcement for the Vila Book Club.
Mm-hmm.
So that summary was available in the body of an email. So you open up the email and you've got the header section at the top with the from and the to. Then you've got the title. And then the next flick to the right, you'll see summary. In some of the podcasts from like 9 to 5 Mac and things like that, I've seen it referred to as the digest view, which you may hear in a discussion of the new changes to the mail app. But it's in each individual email itself, not on the inbox. You have to open an email to get to it, Innie.
Okay, and it's just before that you read the whole entire email.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's right after the title line, the subject line of the email. You can't miss it. It's a big summary button, and then you just double tap on it.
Okay, and only you could see it when you are. Can you be in the list view or in the categories, or it doesn't matter?
I don't think it matters, to be honest with you.
Okay, thank you.
I heard somebody before. Greg, who was that? A lady?
Chris.
I refer to you as a lady. Chris, go right ahead.
Use the term listening.
I had to slip that one in.
Is that only if you have the Apple AI enabled, Pete, that you'll see the summary?
No, I don't think so.
Because I don't have that.
You don't have that?
No.
You got 18.2?
No, just 18.1 still. But I know people were talking about the summaries under 18.1. Okay.
I wouldn't swear to it, but I do have 18.2. And I know that most of these, if not all of these features, most of the features at least came with 18.2. But I don't know if it's a product of the Apple AI or just 18.2.
This is Greg.
Yes, Greg.
Don't you have to have a 15 Pro or newer to get that feature?
The summary feature?
Right.
This is Chris.
Yes, Chris.
That would be because of Apple AI, I think.
Yeah. I still don't know the answer, Greg. So I don't know if you, do you get it? Do you have a 14? Anybody have a 14 or below the 15 Pro?
This is it.
Yeah, I'm on a 14 Pro and I don't have that.
You don't have the summaries? And you do have 18 too?
Yeah.
Okay, there's your answer, Chris. It's a product of the Apple AI.
Thanks.
We got there one way or another. I'm sorry. What do you have? What would you like to say, Ed?
No, I was just going to say I have a 2022, and I don't think I've seen those summaries, but I have noticed a few changes in it where, like, if you're opening it, if you have new mail, it comes up under messages, and if you tap on that, it goes directly to that rather than the other headings.
Mm-hmm.
It's acted weird. I'm in 18 too, so
okay.
And ever since then, it's.
So you're not seeing the summary button on an individual email, but you're seeing it in the inbox.
Well, I don't know if it's a summary. I'm not sure. It reacts differently. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that.
Well, this one clearly said summary. It was a button.
No, I remember something about primary, but I'm going to have to go back.
Yeah, those are the category listings, the primary, the transactions, updates, and promotions.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back. I'm going to have to go back and check that again. Yeah.
This is Joe.
Thank you. Yes, Joe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I didn't have the summary button in my 13 mini.
Okay. I'm afraid I can't verify that one way or another because I've got the 16 Pro.
Yeah.
But thank you, Joe. Anyone else? All righty. Well, thank you for that. And we can now move on to any questions on any topic as long as it relates to iOS. It does not have to be limited to the new Mail app.
This is
layout.
Marty.
Yes, Marty.
So it's an Apple Watch 10 question. On my Apple Watch 10, there's charge optimization under battery, and that's dimmed. You can't do anything. And then it says optimization limit. You can turn that on or off. And when you turn it off, it says that your watch still may stop at 80%. What I've noticed is, I think when I charge the watch laying it flat, it stops at 80%, and I don't know when it continues on. If I charge it in nightstand mode, laying it on a desk or a stand in nightstand mode, it charges totally, like goes all the way up to 100.
No kidding.
Is that, anyone else notice that? Or first of all, is there any way to get that charge optimization out of the dimmed state where you can like turn it on or off?
This is Brad.
Okay, Brad, what do you got?
Oh, correction. Marty, are you going into settings on your watch and then battery?
Yes, because
I was able to turn it off.
Really?
I wasn't able to do it in the watch app on my phone.
No, I was able to go into settings. There in the watch app.
I was able to go into settings and then battery, and then I went to watch optimization or whatever it's labeled, optimization, and I double tapped on it to open it up. And I turned it off, and of course it gave me a warning that if I did this, the world was going to come to an end. And I said, I don't care, I want it off anyway.
That's the charge limit, right? But the one before that.
Battery optimization. Charge limit is something else.
Okay.
Charge limit says you will limit it so that it will never, ever go past 80%. And I didn't even remember looking at that. All I wanted was charge optimization and turned it off.
Oh, mine is dimmed for some reason. I don't know.
It may be dimmed because something else is turned on.
Right.
And that means that feature is not available. So look for battery optimization, not charge limit. But
is charge limit available in the phone?
Battery, and it's under there.
Is there a charge limit on the phone?
Yeah, that's a separate thing, though. Yes,
yeah, I know, but I didn't remember that it was also available.
It's not in the watch app, though. Right.
Like
no,
I said,
it's in the watch under settings.
Okay. What do you think I may have turned on that?
I don't know. Go look through. Go to settings, battery, and look through there. You will find it.
Okay.
I would look for first charge battery optimization and look in there. But something's keeping that feature from being dimmed. I'm trying to look at mine, but there's too many things on the watch to flip through it real quick.
Okay.
I know that I turned it off because when I put that thing on the charger and I get up in the morning, I want it to be at 100%. I don't want it to be at 80.
Right.
I've never known there to be a problem. I don't know. I keep a watch 2-3 years and
you have 11 point whatever that is, 11.2 on your
11.1. There's some bug with 11.2. So
see, I have 11.2 and I heard there were bugs and I didn't want to put that on. I just woke up one day. I had the watch on the charger.
Go into software update. Tell it to not update automatically.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Brad.
All right. Thank you, Brad. Thanks, Marty. Just a little quick segue before we move to our next question. Since Chris is here, I'd like to say to Chris, you did a fantastic job. Those of you who were not in attendance on Saturday at the Apple Workshop and did not witness Arlene win the glasses, you also did not witness Chris's skit, her Christmas skit, which is typically fantabulous. Well done, Chris. Really good. You outdid yourself.
Thank you.
Which is saying something, I'm telling you. Good job. But we also had a guitar piece from Dot Wynn, who is our resident musician. Dot was not present, but he sent in a recorded performance of him playing little drummer boy on the classical guitar in a classical piece was fantastic. I'll reserve Fantabulous for Chris's performance. But anyway, it was a good show. And if you, Julie, we made a recording of that, I believe, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so when it gets posted to the website, go check it out because there was some really good stuff on there. Those two performances included. Anyway, let's move on. Who's got a fresh question for us? iOS.
This is Dan.
Hey, Dan.
Yeah. First of all, I agree with you. Chris has really got that voice down. That was a great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's really good at that.
She does have the row voice. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Getting back to this phone-to-phone transfer, I'm going to be doing that next year. Will VoiceOver totally inform, read out everything? I want to do it without sighted assistance. Can you do it totally with VoiceOver?
Yes, you can. But Kelsey, are you still with us?
This is Chris.
Hey, Chris, you can take it. Sure.
Yeah, if Kelsey's not here for right now. I've done this. Yeah, I did it a few months ago, Dan, and you can. I did it all independently. It does. Even the putting the phone over and catching the code on the other phone, the old phone. It's very doable. Yes, you can.
Yeah, this is Kelsey. I am still here.
Good. Yeah, Dan was wondering if that phone-to-phone transfer is all accessible where he can do it without assistance. Yeah,
it is. Now, the one thing I will warn you about is the part where you have to select your language. That is a little tricky with VoiceOver.
This is Herbie.
Let Kelsey finish her thought if you have more to say.
Oh, I thought she did. Sorry.
It's doable with VoiceOver, but you kind of, depending on what device you're trying to set up.
An Apple iPhone 16.
Okay.
Pro.
Yeah, because I will say that when I did it on my iPad mini 7, when I set that up, that language thing, that was, that took me, I had a heck of a time with that. I mean,
what in particular was it?
Yeah, right.
It was.
That's what I was going to answer.
Okay. Let Herbie jump in. Go ahead,
Herbie.
Yeah, so what Kelsey's talking about, so you know when you turn on your phone and it'll say hello in the many different languages?
Right.
But there are a couple of, what I was going to mention is there's a couple of workarounds that I usually have that have worked. One is usually hitting the lock screen. I think it defaults to the country you purchase the iPhone in, so usually it defaults to American, and you can change the language from there. So you'll be presented with a different screen. Also, I find that sometimes if you just double tap anywhere without trying to select a specific language, it will also bring it up and you're still good to go. And it usually has American English selected by default anyway. So that has been my workarounds in the past. Now, it's been a couple years since I've recently done a setup, so it could have made it more complicated, but I've usually been able to work around that. Usually just with the lock screen button. Or not lock screen button, I apologize. Sliding up to emulate the home button.
Yeah, I did that too. It didn't work.
This is Trey.
Go ahead, Trey.
Doesn't VoiceOver says to swipe up to go in that screen mode?
Yeah, that's why I've tried that.
Yeah, this is Brad.
Yeah.
Brad?
Whenever I've had it doing all those languages, I just always ignored it and just put my button at the bottom of the screen and slide up, just like always. And it takes me to that first screen, like Herbie said. Select your language, and U.S. English is there by default, and that's where I can change my language.
This is
I've always thought it's just playing all those languages just like it's a obnoxious screensaver thing. That's not where you actually change the languages. You have to go into that next screen.
Go, Sri.
I was going to say, if someone's coming in from a home button to that, I could probably see why it gets confusing because that's a gesture that they would have to be somewhat familiar with. So if Kelsey, did you have a phone without a home button before?
No, I had so I had an iPad mini 5 that
had the home button, right?
It did, but you could use the gestures on the, so you could do the slide up to go home on the iPad even if it had a home button.
Correct.
So, so I was kind of already familiar with that. And I did try swiping up like multiple times and it just for some reason, that language thing, it just would not, it just kept wanting to play those languages. And I, for the life of me, could not get it in English. I'm like, all right, I almost had to resort to asking a sighted family member to help me.
That's what Dan is trying not to do. Chris, did you have any difficulty with the language selection?
This is Chris.
Yeah.
I don't remember having any problems.
Of course, you're multilingual anyway, right?
I speak Princess Rao.
You speak Rao and Chrissy.
I speak Rarese.
The language of the Rao. All right.
Universal language.
So
yeah, Brad.
I guess the bottom line
thinking
is
that the iPad is a little different. It has a physical home button, or actually it's a virtual home button because it's a software-driven one,
right?
Like they've had. But because you can use gestures like on an iPhone without a home screen, without a home button on an iPad, those may not work until it's set up. So I think when it's on that screen that's saying hello in all the different languages, you probably have to use the home button to get past that until you get the thing set up.
Go ahead, Dan. What were you going to say?
Gestures may work.
Well, there's on the iPhone 16, there's not going to be a home button, right? It's just like
correct.
Yeah.
But she was talking about her iPad.
Okay, well, we're talking about just a phone-to-phone transfer. That's what I'm.
Are you coming from a home button or no?
I've done the transfer. It is completely accessible. It's going to ask you to hold one phone up next to the other and let the QR code on the screen or whatever it is be seen. But there's also an option to not do it that way. And one phone will give you I can't remember, it's 4 or 6 digits, but it will give you a code and tell you to type it in on the other phone. I mean, I've done it. It is 100% voiceover accessible.
Oh, that's good. So
not a problem.
Will VoiceOver read out the code that you need?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
It pops up. It's on the screen. It's in a little, I think it's in a little dialogue that pops up in this. I can't remember, but I know it is there and you can read it. Just like when you set up a watch, it wants you to do the same thing. Point your phone at your watch and you can do that and have it give you a code instead. Same thing.
Cool. Okay.
Sri, what did you want to add?
No, I was just going to say, VoiceOver is going to actually speak everything to you prior to do whatever you need to do. I mean, not the code thing, but when you're in that multiple language screen, it'll say swipe up to unlock.
Okay, good. Thank you.
And you've been dealing with that, right? You don't have a home button now.
That's right. No,
good.
I don't.
You're golden then.
This is
right.
Brad.
And if you have any trouble, then Brad and Sri will chip in and pay for the new phone.
When you first turn it on, it used to be if you didn't do anything, it would start talking. But it seems like you need to press the side button or lock button, whatever they call it, whatever the real name for it is, 3 times, then it'll start talking.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
Alrighty then. Fresh question. Who's not asked a question tonight or lately that would like to get a question in before we get towards the final quarter hour?
Arlene?
There you are, Arlene.
Hi. Okay. This isn't a new question. You're scaring me because I'm getting a new phone next year. And back in the olden days when I got my first phone, which is an 8, they did all this stuff for me at the Verizon store, I think. I don't remember changing anything or moving things from one phone to another. The nice guy who was at Verizon did it for me. So can't you override everything that you just said and just smile at the Verizon guy and ask him to do it?
Yeah, I don't think they would get the same results as you. Go, Marty.
I just had it a year ago when I went from my 8 to my 15 Pro. I'm no 15, but the AT&T guy, they did it, and they did it like, interfacing the 2 phones with each other, and it took less than 5 minutes.
And it worked okay?
Oh, yeah. Yes, everything was fine.
There you go.
There you go.
Thank you.
They will
No
do
need
it
to
for
be
you.
afraid. Yeah. Thanks, Marty.
This is Amy.
Yes, Annie.
Just a couple of comments and then a question. I have US Cellular, and they also they did everything for me right there. No problem. The other thing you were talking about, that feature, with the email box, that is, a feature came with the 18.2. Because I do have the SE phone, and when I was on 18.1, it didn't show up until I updated to the 18.2. So it's not with the Apple 16
You mean
Pro.
the summary?
Whatever.
The summary?
The whole
Categories.
Categories.
We knew the categories were on each phone. It was just the summary box that somebody was questioning. Where you tapped on the summary and it gave you the digest of the contents of the email. Anyway, but thank you, Annie. Appreciate it.
Go ahead. And my question is, my phone, it keeps saying, that's one of them now since I switched, I have them both going. It keeps saying no mail, but then when I click on it, I do have a lot unread mail. So it says I have no mail, but then I do have quite a bit of mail that haven't been read.
This is Brad.
Yeah, Brad.
Mine does the same thing. That's because when you open the mail app, it then polls the server to see if there's any new mail, and if there is, then the new mail comes down. Mine does the same thing. And even though I have mine, I can't remember what you call it, in my mail settings, I've got it set to push the mail, but it doesn't.
Right.
I have to open it, and then it polls the server, and then, however many mail messages will come down. So,
I noticed that too. Mine says checking server or something like that.
This is free.
Yeah, don't always trust
2 or
that
3
badge,
seconds.
That badge alert thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Ree?
I was going to say, it's probably you guys have it set up to fetch instead of push. So every time you refresh it, I think the mail updates. Or you open it, or 3-finger swipe up, or 3-finger swipe down to refresh the mail.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because one of my phones, it does tell me that I have, 7 new messages, emails, not messages, email, but one keeps just saying no mail. So I see there's a feature that I need to turn on. Okay.
Yeah, Brad.
If it's set to fetch, it will save battery as opposed to pushing, because it won't check for mail unless you open the mail app, and then it will do it. But if you have it set to push, my understanding is it uses more battery. So, just, if you're not worried about battery, which I'm not, but I'm not sure how mine's set. I'll have to go look at it again. But I do believe it uses more battery if it's on push.
I think you're right.
This is John.
Yes, John.
So I may get the settings confused. I know there's like push versus fetch, but I think there are also settings like for the increments too. Like there's like manual or like different time increments. So I usually for mine, I just set mine to manual, so then I can just check everything manually as opposed to it checking every, like periodically, whatever the time increment is. So I imagine that's the same thing too with the battery as well. But I think it may also affect like how often you get your mail without doing the 3-finger flick down.
Okay. Brad, you wanted to comment on that?
I don't believe time increments are available in the iPhone's mail app. I believe that's certainly on the Mac desktop app and other desktop apps, but I've never seen time increments on the mail app on the iPhone.
This is Sri.
Sri, before you comment, hang on one sec. I just wanted to let everybody know that we're in the final few minutes of the program, and we normally delay until the last quarter hour to entertain questions relating to the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses. So if anybody has a question that you've been holding, the time is right. What do you have, Sri?
I was going to say, I think I'm agreeing with Brad on that one. I don't remember seeing any time, but I do notice that some mail servers or mail service providers, they don't offer the option to do a push. I just see fetch. I know Hotmail allows me to do a push, but I've got some other mail accounts that I only see fetch as the option only.
Okay.
So Jody.
Yeah, Jody.
I have a MetaView question.
Go.
Okay. So I know that there's the new AI Live or Live IA or whatever it is. And if you go to settings above account, it usually shows up as easy access. Mine doesn't show up, but I know that you can go to
early access, you mean?
Early access, yeah.
Right.
If you go to meta.com, you can sign up for it there, but you need the serial number of your glasses. Where do you find the serial number for your glasses?
This is Sri.
Yes, Sri.
You can go to your glasses on the app, just double tap on your glasses, then go about, and then swipe right. You'll see an option that says serial number.
Okay, thank you.
You got it.
Thank you.
Thank
This
you,
is
Sri.
Paul.
Thanks, Jody. Yeah, Paul.
I have a Ray-Ban question also.
Shoot, go for it.
I'm a little confused, and I keep getting a little contradictory information, but if we're out walking around away from your home Wi-Fi, and you've got your phone, and it's connected to the cell system, will the glasses use the cellular data, or do we have to use a hotspot?
I believe it'll work on the cellular, but who knows for sure? I wouldn't.
This is Sri.
Yes, Sri.
It definitely works on your cellular. I don't have a hotspot using it, so it works.
Good. Wanted to be sure about that.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Go for it. Go out and prosper.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Jody.
Yeah, Jody.
Yeah, I've heard you have to get far enough away from your Wi-Fi that there isn't a battle.
Conflict, right.
Conflict between the two.
Well,
yeah,
good.
this is Helene.
Helene, what do you got?
I used it for the 4th time today. Got someone from Delaware this time, and walking to the Y and, getting better at it. And, yeah, I am super impressed. And you do have to get far enough away, and it takes sometimes 1 or 2 tries of just, saying to the glasses, saying, "Hey, Meta, be my eyes," and it will say connecting to be my eyes, and then you'll hear that same ringing tone, and then sometimes it disconnects, and then it'll go again, connecting, and then suddenly someone will be on the call. And it's very, really very impressive.
Cool. Good. That's great.
This is Sri.
Yes, Sri.
I will give some caution. I was actually playing around with it too, and I asked, is my cup half full? Or I asked, how much is my cup half full of water? And it said, yes, your cup is half full, but it was actually completely full.
No, I thought you were going to say it was completely half empty. There's an AI argument for you, right?
There you go. So I'm just saying, just be a little bit careful.
Yeah. Wasn't precise.
Especially if you got hot water.
I asked the AI a question the other day in my home, in my bedroom, and I can't remember what it was, but it was dead wrong. I asked it 3 times, and then I just said, hey, it was really this and not that. So I forget what it was, though. Yeah, it was dead wrong. Anyway. Any other questions? We've still got a minute or 2.
This is Dee.
Yes, Dee.
Yeah, I had an incident like that where I asked it something that told me definitely wrong. A couple of times, in fact, and I got a little grumpy with it. And it apologized to me for being wrong. And then later I asked the same thing and it gave me the correct answer. So I don't know if me telling it that it was wrong, if it realized then the next time that, hey, this is the answer.
Yeah. Probably said, I better not make this lady angry.
This is Sri.
Yes, Sri.
So, Dee, have you signed up with, do you have a Facebook account?
This is Dee. Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Yes, he's asking you.
Yes, I have a Facebook account.
Did you sign up with the Facebook account on your glasses?
Can't remember, sir.
The reason I'm asking is because if you do, it does keep a history of your request. If you don't sign up with the Ray-Ban Meta, like if you're just using just a don't sign into the account at all, then it only keeps the log of your current questions and not any history questions.
I don't really remember how I did that.
That's the benefit of signing up. You can ask, previous follow-up questions on it, and it keeps a log of it.
Oh.
For any question on any topic, you mean?
Mm-hmm. Because if you go to the AI tab, you'll see all the questions that you've asked, and it's the responses.
This is Jody.
Yeah, Jody.
I didn't sign up through Facebook. I just signed up using my email address, and I get follow-up questions. Okay. And one thing that was kind of interesting was I asked, what am I looking at? It said a dog, and I said, what kind of a dog? And it said German Shepherd. And then from that point on, whenever I'd ask about the dog, it would identify it as a German Shepherd.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is true.
Mm-hmm. Yes, right.
I think it's because you signed in. If you didn't sign into an account, it won't. That's what I read.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I just signed in using my email, but I was definitely signed in.
I didn't realize
my favorite though was this is Jody.
No, go ahead.
My favorite was when I asked it where my Amazon delivery was, and it told me it was right in front of the garage door. Thank you.
A memorable event.
Yes, it was. I didn't have to go searching for it. Where's the box? The box is in front of the garage door.
I saw a quick recording by David Woodbridge. I would imagine most of you know his name anyway. And he had a list of questions that he had asked the glasses since he had them, which is, I think, had been a few weeks now. And it was a really comprehensive list. It sounded very cool. But one of them was finding the trash cans and the lids, after the garbage man had been by. Yeah. Trying to find the lids to those garbage cans is difficult. Of course, the cans are difficult, too.
This is Helene.
Yes, Helene?
I was wondering about these photos. I don't do anything with the photos, but occasionally I'll just want to show someone, that it makes a blinking light and it takes a photo. Do I have to do anything about those photos, or are they just dissolved after a few days?
You mean as far as deleting them?
Yes.
I don't know that they will dissolve after a few days. I don't think they'll delete until you take an action. Am I right, guys?
This is free.
This is free. You're right.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah.
Unless you uninstall the software, then it'll delete it.
Yeah, but you have to do something. They don't automatically delete like Mission Impossible.
There is an option in there on the photos that you can have it sync to your photo library. That'll automatically push it over to your photos if you want to save it.
This is Greg.
Yeah, Greg.
I heard somebody the other day saying that it was important to delete your questions and answers so that you don't fill up the storage that they allow you. Can you batch? Is there a way to batch delete questions and answers, or do you just have to do them one at a time?
Good question.
For the meta classes.
Yeah, good question. Anybody delete them in bulk? Yeah, Shri first, then Joe.
I was going to say, I've never deleted. I can go take a look at it, because mine is from the day one I got it. I see all my call requests that I've asked.
This is Dee.
Yeah, Dee.
I just want to make a comment. I can't wait for the January workshop on the glasses.
Yeah. Hey, Arlene, you got any questions on the glasses before we leave?
Oh my gosh, my head is spinning. I'm wondering, who are they talking to? So you're talking to your glasses? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yes. This is Jody. Can I make a quick comment?
Yeah, real quick.
Well, Michael made an announcement that the mini buzz will now be open to technology questions, so we can ask about
every other Tuesday instead of the mini buzz. It'll be the other device. Yeah,
I'll be there.
Good for you. All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up, everybody. Jody, quick question: who's got the after buzz tonight? You or Terry?
I think tonight's Terry.
Okay, Terry, are you with us? All right, we think it's Terry, but we'll see, won't we?
I'll take it till Terry shows up.
Okay. I just wanted to thank everybody for joining us. I want to thank Julie. Jules, thanks as usual. You are a lifesaver and keep us moving here. Bradford, thanks for your help up front. And everybody else, thank you so much for being so fun and upbeat and in the Christmas spirit. You guys be safe above all things. And remember, we have nothing else after the iBUG AfterBuzz tonight until a week from tomorrow, which will be New Year's Eve, at which point we will be doing a New Year's Eve movie and other events. Michael said we'll get a notification on it, but that will begin a week from tomorrow, December 31st at 7 p.m. It will go till, well, the ball drops at midnight. So after midnight, it'll be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. And again, thank you, everybody. I'm going to let Julie close out the room. Good night, everybody.